Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot and to this latest reading, which is about getting your power back from another life. Specifically, something that sort of tends towards the supernatural, the witchy, or the wizard like power. So if you've had, wizardry training in a past life, witch training, or other kind of interdimensional abilities. And oftentimes these abilities were less they proliferated a lot more in past timelines. So we're going into, as we move forward in time, we're going into a time where these kind of abilities come back to us. But there was a lot more of that going on, if that makes any sense, in the past lives. So we're going back to that time frame, I believe. But so this reading is about how do we get these powers back in this now moment. So take a look at the three piles that we have, how to get your sort of wizard witchy powers or any other powers back that come up in these readings, back from another life into this now. So look at the three readings. Pile number 1, the yellow flashlight; pile number 2, the green flashlight; and pile number 3, the red flashlight. So see what pile resonates the most for you in regards to this topic, and let's get started. So, pile number 1, how can you bring back your powers, your supernatural, witchy, wizard, or other powers from another life? Let's see what comes up for pile number 1, the yellow flashlight pile. We've got the King of Swords, interesting. Already we've got a poignant card. The Five of Cups. We've got the Chariot reversed, interesting. We've got the High Priestess, interesting, and that's very much an intuitive card. And the Hierophant, interesting. So the first thing I got is that you are very blocked from something that you had that was very special in a past life with the King of Swords. You've got the King of Swords is a very powerful person, and I'm getting here it wasn't it was you were very powerful. I'm getting kind of a wizard power, a wizard, like it's sort of like, but using your energy through your hands. That's what I get. You really got your energy through your hands. I see an image of the King of Swords, not with words, but because the King of Swords can be a man of words, but here I'm not getting that. I'm getting it's very much holding a sword and having a very, in some cases it was a protective power, but it was very much a power that was, you channeled a powerful energy back from the cosmos into yourselves, and it came through things like a sword or just shooting energy out. It's funny, I see even shooting energy out through your eyes, and that may sound very strange, but remember, we are very, in this time frame, we are very controlled, and they do all sorts of like frequency nets to control humanity, so they can't have the same sort of powers that was available to us in past timelines. And you're feeling, what I'm hearing you may not understand this, but you're feeling quite frustrated because you very much had these powers in a past life. So I'm seeing the Five of Cups with the Chariot. It's like you feel like you can't move forward until you get these powers back. So I'm hearing it's very important for you in particular to get these powers back in this life. It's very important. And it's like the High Priestess. And I'm hearing different things with the High Priestess. I'm hearing it's intuitive. Sometimes it's getting your intuition back. But I'm hearing that somebody, it's almost like your counterpart, and this may not resonate for everyone, but I think part of getting back your witchy wizard powers is finding your counterpart. And I'm hearing this could be either a romantic partner or a very, very good friend. But that's what I see with the High Priestess, is like it's somebody who is very much your counterpart in this past life, and you're generally meet this person in this. You're meant to find this person in this life, because you were kind of separated for so long, or bad things. It's like you had this power. You and this other person had this power way back, like, it could be 20, 30,000, even 50, 70,000 years ago, and it's like, and then you fell into these dark times where you were like you had once had this power, but then you fell into these times where you were, tortured, like horrible things happened to you. So you fell into this dark where your pieces of yourself were like, fractured and gone. But then I'm hearing that you're coming. This is very important to lifetime, because it's like you're coming back, coming back just as my cat arrived. That's quite good timing as always. My kitty cat has great timing. She arrives often at the right moment. So there she is. So it's sort of like you're coming back into this life, and it's important. But I'm hearing there's a lot of fracturing, that you feel a lot of fracturing, because you've just been so fractured from this powerful state that you once was. You went to these darker lifetimes of just being, instead of being powerful, you were abused, burned at the stake, that kind of thing, torn apart from people that you love, perhaps even this person that's very much your counterpart, in either a good friend or a romantic partner. I hear a good friend or a romantic partner. So I'm hearing it's important, and I'm hearing time is of the essence. I'm hearing you need to get back to. It's not just a. Don't be. I'm hearing don't be frivolous about this. I hear be very concerted, very structured, because you want to get the chariot upside down or right side up, and you want to move forward as soon as possible into these time frames of of power. I'm hearing you want to move forward with power. I'm hearing, and confidence, and how you can do that. And I'm hearing, okay, what I'm hearing is that hold a ball of energy. Pull the interesting. I said pull a ball of energy in your hands, and I got that just as I got the messenger card where somebody's handing somebody something, right? It's handing something, but I hear very much to get this power back. Like take your hand and feel the energy between it and experiment. Let it build. Let it build and say, pure consciousness is between my hands. I allow pure consciousness to be around your hands, and let it sort of use that energy. Say, I here feel the energy of pure consciousness between my hands, and allow that energy to sort of cleanse your field. And then what I hear is that you'll feel this energy. You'll get back to it if you do this concerted spiritual effort. If you do this concerted spiritual effort, you will get it back. Like just like the messenger is handing something, it's almost like you'll be getting that back to you, just like this card. You use your hands, you'll be getting this energy back. But I'm saying use your hands, because I saw before him holding the sword, the energy flowing through his hands. So I'm getting create an energy ball, pure consciousness. I allow pure consciousness, and it allowed it to this energy to get rid of all the negative debris in your field, and even intend that take this, like I said, take the energy, and also intend that you release all the energy from. There's my cat again. That you release all the energy from the past lives that didn't go so well, and there were many. I hear there were past lives that didn't go well, and there were definitely many. What are you doing? What are you doing? No! Sorry about that. She's kind of sorry about that. She's kind of yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So like that's how you get your energy back. Is you don't do that. Jeez, that's what are you trying to do? You trying to get me in trouble with YouTube? Exposing yourself to the camera? Is that what you're trying to do? But yeah, so it's sort of like use your hands, cleanse away the energy of the past lives, and once you've done that, so those are the things to do. Make it a spiritual discipline, a fun spiritual discipline. Perhaps call on Merlin, if or whatever beings, or maybe unnamed beings that you haven't even thought of, right? That I can't even name, but you'll know the name of. I'm hearing. Call on them, create the energy, release the past lives. That's what I'm hearing though. And take those, not only release the past lives, but call on the pieces that were broken to be resolved and brought back into you again, and return, and sort of almost do a travel where you take those broken pieces back from those broken past lives, and sort of go back to the past lives where things were good, and take that energy too, and yeah, and then do and then yeah, and then start. I'm hearing start shooting energy with your two fingers, shooting that, like directing it towards different areas, just experimenting with energy. And I hear that you will begin to feel it again. You will begin to. It will start the ball rolling, and you will begin to know. It will start. It will just start you. You will. I'm hearing that all the things that you need, perhaps this person that you've been long lost from will come back, whether it's a friend or a romantic partner. But just start the ball rolling like that, getting those energies back. And I hear the quick, just the ball will get rolling to a um a better a better direction in your life, and the direction that you need to go, and with these sort of energetic powers. So yeah, I think that's all we get. I think I've given you enough information that you can, spark that memory, that past life memory, and you can get that back. Just like my cat is grabbing my hands right now. You can get those. You can get everything back that you've lost. I hear. You can get everything back that you've lost and be whole again. I get it's very important to be whole again and feel that energy of power, empoweredness again. And yeah, and I hear that's enough. You'll be able, you have it within yourselves, the ability, the remembrance to get that ball rolling. So yeah, I believe that's all we get. Check out my other videos in the playlist section. I've got videos on dreams, cats, past lives, narcissists, uh, future predictions, just a lot of different pick a card subjects. So check that out and see if it's worth it for you to subscribe. Maybe like or comment if this resonated. And that's all we've got for you, pile number one, the yellow flashlight pile. And I wish you good. I wish you good intention in getting that all those elements of those past lives, because it's important to do now. And it will. What I'm hearing too is that it will, like it will lend this timeline as we move forward. It will lend itself to you. It won't be the same time frame, but it will lend itself to you getting those powers back again. Like this time, it's going to be move in an upward direction. It's going to move in an upward direction where will be able to fully get these powers back again, and feel those energies again, and feel whole again as the broken pieces of the not so good lives are put back together. All right, so that's all we've got. Now it's time for putting. I heard Godspeed. Godspeed. Okay. Godspeed. Interesting word. All right, pile number two. So the green flashlight pile. How do we get your powers back from another life? They could be wizard, witchy, something else. Perhaps we haven't perceived. We'll see what comes up. So we've got. Let me put all the cards here. Interesting. We've got the star, Eight of Wands, transition, Eight of Wands, Seven of Wands, and Page of Cups. So I'm getting it in a lot of cases in the past life, you traveled a lot, and I'm getting it. It's almost like the uh, when they traveled to see, I'm getting the three wise men vibe for some reason. I'm getting that you very much like to travel and move, and I'm getting that something happened in a past life where it's sort of like your transition and movement were stopped in some way. You really enjoyed moving, transitioning, moving, but something happened that in some cases that stopped you. And so what I'm getting is that your power is in a lot of time that's in prophecy is what I'm getting. You're very good at knowing what's going to happen in a lot of cases. Like you're very good at connecting. You may be interested in astrology or sort of the undercurrents of the moon cycles. You're very attuned to those cycles. And yeah, and you did that in the past life. You were very much, like about prophecies, knowing what transitions were going to occur. But I got that somehow your movement, okay, I'm getting it now. Like, I hear that something you were kind of unfettered for a while, but then there was people in power who didn't like people like you, who told the truth about what was going to happen. They wanted to maintain control. They didn't like people like you. So I'm hearing that you kind of went underground. So there's a sense of sort of apprehension that you have here about stepping into your power, what is about saying what's going to happen. Understand the currents of the waves, of the undercurrents of everything, if you will, and prophesizing on that. But you felt very defensive. You went underground instead of being able to flow around unfeathered. And it's almost like you're carrying that fear from that past life. So I'm hearing that to step into that full power now, you need to lose your defensiveness about authority, and knowing that authority can no longer touch you. Let's see if we can get some gypsy oral or gypsy oracle decks. Okay, we got 3 from the top. Service, interesting. I'm getting that you were okay. I'm getting also okay. I'm getting something else too. Yes, I'm getting something else. You were very much a psychic. You may have psychic. You may be good at foretelling the future, but you've shut this down because they took over you. People like you in the past that were prophesizers or blessers of different elements, right? They took you aside. They used you for their own purposes. They used you for their own. I'm getting a sense of yeah. Okay, they took you and kind of forced you to use your prophetic ability for their ends. Either that, they forced you to use, and this could be different lifetimes, right? Where you kept on getting, you wanted to have your gifted prophetic abilities, figuring out what's going on for good. But evil forces either drove you over underground or took you and used you for that ability themselves, like keeping you contained, like forcing you to tell them that using people like you for their service, their dark aims, whereas you had good pure intentions, but they used it for their own. And prison, yeah, I got prison. So it's sort of like they imprisoned you and then forced you, dark forces imprisoned you and forced you to do um, their bidding, I'm hearing, or get information from you. And I hear that you kind of fed them wrong information in some cases, or tried to half good information, half bad information, just kind of mess them up. And in some cases they didn't know, but in some cases they figured it out and then they killed you, or something very nefarious happened. Servant, interesting. Servant again. You were forced to do things that you were not. Yeah. Service, and servant both came up, so that's very important. You were forced to. So that's what I'm getting. You were forced to serve with your powers, and it could even be. And I'm getting another thread of like with other. It could have been prophetic powers, but it could also be energetic powers. But you were forced to serve a king or a group of people. This could be various different lifetimes or for different people, but you were forced to serve kings or people that you did not wish to with your power. So there's almost this fear of stepping into your powers now, because will I be forced to serve? Is it safe? But I'm hearing comfort yourself with knowing, give yourself a healing energy of knowing that is not this time frame. We are not in that time frame now. We are in a different time frame where you can pursue your intuitive powers unfettered completely. So some affirmations, you could create some affirmations for yourself. They could be, I can pursue my powers, my intuitive powers unfettered. Okay, on my own terms. I can pursue my intuitive powers unfettered on my own terms. So that's a good affirmation to give yourself, and then see yourself breaking free from any dark influences as you say that, because know now that this is you. Because I see you're kiboshed over and over again, but this is a lifetime where you're not going to be kiboshed. You're going to you can with a page of cups, I'm hearing it's a new life. It's almost like starting innocently and new in this lifetime, because that is not going to happen again. No one's going to take you over. No one's going to force you to use your intuitive gifts to serve their ends. you have the power to serve your own ends or whatever ends you see fit. So I'm hearing just creating a different mindset in regards to that will be completely healing, and it will allow all your gifts, all your abilities in that past life to come back again. Whether it's energetic abilities, directing energy in a certain direction, or whether if it's I got heavily that was heavily prophetic abilities, and there may be, a fear of to see now in this life. You may, yeah, and I hear some of you are completely blocked because you're afraid to see. You're afraid to see what is actually going on because you did not want to see because there was evil dark forces that would take over and they would force you to see things for your own end. So it's almost like you carry that imprint of, oh, I'm afraid to see, oh, I'm afraid. So take that green flashlight or green energy, not the flashlight, but the green energy that you see here, and sort of take that healing energy as you say, I can pursue my intuitive abilities and my psychic powers and my wonderful witchy powers and my wizard powers on my own terms. I will always pursue these energies on my own terms, always. Your own terms are very important. So that's what I get. Yeah, and it will just naturally unfold from that, right? Just that's just sort of the healing piece that you need to know. It's a different, like, so many times we need to be reminded this is a different time, right? It's like, we're not we have to be realistic about the times that we are now in, right? We're not in the same times that we used to. This is a different time, and it's like, taking what we take from the past life, but also recognizing that these are different times. Like taking the wisdom from the past life, but also clarifying where we are now, because oftentimes we're not always clear about where we are now. We're not always clear about that. And we need to be clear now about, and just so we can live our best life now. So I believe that's all I have for this pile. Give it a like or comment if this resonated. Also, if you want to check out my playlist section, I've got a lot of other videos on just various topics. So check that out. Check that out and see if it's worth it for you to subscribe. And yeah, I got prison again. I got that before too. It's sort of like, that's what I'm getting, is that overall for us to step into our powers is sort of like we have to release ourselves from prison, some form of. That's generally what makes it difficult for us um, to that there's some sort of fearful prison. Either we were put in prison or there's some sort of mental prison. For me, being put in prison, is there some sort of prison that we need to be released from a past life, often, that allows us to fully be in our power now. But it's so important that we all release ourselves from all these prisons so we can be everything that we need to be in this time, is what I'm hearing. Interesting. So I believe that's all. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that reading. And yeah, I hope you join me for other videos on the Kindred Essence Tarot channel. Alright, pile number 3, the red flashlight pile. We'll see how to get your powers back from another life. So yeah, this could be witchy, wizard powers. It could be something else. We'll see what comes up. So Judgment, Four of Swords, interesting. Those are quite the two combinations of cards, but we'll see what the rest of them say. So Judgment, which is a major arcana, Four of Swords. We've got the Ten of Wands. We've got the Queen of Wands. And I've got the Queen of, oh no, not Queen of Wands, that's the Queen of Cups. Oh, and another, that's amazing, Queen of Cups, another, two beside each other, so that's super, super, super important. Queen of Cups, because I combine two decks, right, when I do these readings. So you do that so it adds a nuance to when I combine, so that's like, I don't know, 150 cards together or whatever it works out to, 100 I guess, 58 or something, 158, something like that. But but to get those both together, that's quite that's super significant. But it's good because sometimes if you'll get a repeating card in a spread, then you'll really call attention to that fact. So that's interesting. So we've got this is a very fascinating pile because it's like we got this starts off with the the major arcana. That we've got kind of two blockage cards. We've got the Ten of Wands, which you can see it shows a blockage, and we've got the Four of Swords that is like either it's a resting card, but it's sort of this blockage. So I'm hearing different things from this, but I'm hearing that in a past life there was I'm hearing okay, you're kind of the and I'm hearing in this present time the wait is almost over or it is over, and it is time for you to come behind your gate, release the baggage and move forward into the full power of your magical healing abilities. And then it's interesting because the Queen of Cups, in the Queen of Cups, and you've gotten it twice, is very much the epitomizer of a healing, psychic. She's very psychic, intuitive, flows with the emotion. So it's the ultimate empowerment through psychic abilities. So I'm hearing it's time to move forward to that now, but I'm also hearing another thread that you were separated. I'm getting at the Queen of Cups are different, a little bit different elements, right? And I'm getting for one Queen of Cups, you were separated from somebody that you deeply loved in a past life. That 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 you're and it's all very much a theme of what the time that we're in right now is coming back to all these aspects of yourself, people that we lost. So I'm getting that is part of that, like going into your power again is connecting to somebody that you lost, and that's important. But it's also you were lost yourself, and I'm being brought to the Judgment card. So it's sort of like I'm hearing that you lost your had okay. So I'm hearing that you had a huge amount of power in a past life with like almost a very higher dimensional world. You were in a higher dimensional world, and then somebody came in with a bit more power, and they, it's very much because you were able to, like in those times, you're able to sort of power was very the intuitive ability was very much out there, and I get 60,000 years ago in most cases. Like it's a time period that happened 60,000 years ago. And you're somebody who had very much a power. Like it's almost like there was a whole bunch of people that had various amounts of power. Yeah, I keep on getting 60, 70, 80,000. And I'm also getting 200,000 years, 240,000 years ago, but it's sort of the same theme that played on those times. Because sometimes there can be time periods that have the same energy that play out. They can be like 60,000 years, in between them. They can be like some time in between them. But that's what I'm hearing. So it could be different time periods, but 60, 80, 240,000. But they're kind of the same energies. If everyone had, it was all about developing your magical power, but then somebody had a little bit more than you, and they got out of control, and they took you for all you had in some cases. That's one thread that I'm hearing, but it's sort of like the imbalance. It was sort of like an imbalance where they took you, they sort of destroyed you in some way, just because like it's like okay, I'm getting it, I'm hearing the words, it is not safe to relax. So I'm getting this cluster of psychological stuff inside you where you feel it is not safe to relax, but I don't want to step into my power. It is unsafe for me to relax. I don't want to step into your power because it's sort of like an energy of something happening. It could be a cataclysm or someone having too much power, a little bit more power, and then they energetic power where things got out of imbalance, right? Just things were seeming fine and they got out of balance. So you're afraid to almost go back there. There's this imprint of, oh, if I relax for 1 second, things will go bad. But also if I'm in that kind of time frame and I go back to my getting back my witchy powers, things get will get out of control. So there's sort of this complex that you have to unravel within yourself in regards to in regards to this, and how do you, and you'll know, I'm hearing you'll know best about how to unravel this. You because if you had that power then, you can get that power now, and you can, you know, you can release that energy. And um so what I'm hearing is that, yeah, it involves seeing things clearly again, seeing things clearly again. But yeah, I'm bringing it back because it's very significant. The Queen of Cups came back twice, so it's sort of like I'm hearing you want to turn one of these Queen of Cups, or even both of them, upside down, or it's sort of like you want to. What I'm hearing is you want to. I'm hearing go back to a meditation and just see if you can get this significant life. Journal about it. Go into a relaxed state. Figure out all about it, and then basically feel the energy of that again. And you want to turn one queen the right side up, and that's the queen that you are now. But you want to release the energy of this past life, so you can take the best part of that life, but then be the best part that you are now. And it's sort of like you want to. Just let me get another card to sort of clarify this. What is the main goal here? How can you get your, because the whole point always is to, to live in this now. Interesting, I got the star. So the whole point, so I'm getting that you kind of have to like, I'm seeing this image of your consciousness kind of being fractured now, and you don't know how to connect to this now. You don't know how to connect to this. So I'm hearing that something about, yeah, go back to this past life and release the energy of it, but be like, I am in this now. You want to clarify um, that you are in this now, and you want to release the energy of the past, bring the best part of that within yourself, release the worst part of that, and bring that energy of that now. And I'm hearing that you may be the trauma that you had in this way past life, you may be around those people. I'm hearing you could be around the person who overtook your power and did something nasty to you in a past life, but you're also around the people that you were with, like were taken away from you or traumatized with this person. So it could be, you may want to look into your life and see if there's that energy of someone who you're kind of a little bit suspicious of, and it could be in your family, could even, I'm hearing even in a spiritual group. I'm hearing it's actually somebody who you may be kind of friends with, but you're a little bit iffy about in some sort of spiritual, even like something like a witching covering or coven or something. They seem nice now, and they may even be nice now, but they did something to you. They tore apart your family, and you may be with that family now, or have that kind of element of what it is now, and then they're with you now, and I'm hearing, be curious about the people around you that were part of this past life where things really went haywire. And what seemed like, it seemed like things were fine, like everyone had their own powerful piece um, of, like their own energy, but something just got out of balance. And this person, they maybe wanted something that you had, or they sort of had this, I hear they got a little bit more power than you, or they got at you when you were unaware and did some sort of weird thing to you. And you may know this person. So I'm hearing all the players in your life may be here, and you'll know if that's the case. You'll know if that's the case. But yeah, I'm hearing to reground yourself, because I'm hearing, because the consciousness is, pieces of you got fractured during like these journeys of doing, magic and everything, and pieces of you got fractured, right? And the whole key is to connect to connect to this now, connect to a star, I hear, that is very important, or some celestial, or even if you feel that you're connected to an ET ship, do that. Like, find some sort of spiritual being to ground you into this reality. And yeah, the key is to get to bring together those fractured pieces of yourself, so you no longer feel fractured. I'm hearing that doing this practice will help you. help you heal a lot of your life and just heal your heart. I'm hearing that your heart was broken, but your and also your consciousness was broken by these. So the whole goal is to bring the power back. So let's see what other cards I can get in regards to that, in regards to getting your power back. Fortune. I'm hearing, realize that you are, I'm hearing that you have all these weird, like, weird ideas, and it's a funny thing to hear, but about a lot of different things that are not quite right because of these past lives. Like, it's about, like, or they may be half right. It's just sort of like, what I'm hearing is really explore your consciousness for the parts of you that think that you do not to be, that you do not deserve to be whole and happy and together, like that don't deserve to be, to have that sort of sense of wholeness, and find those parts. And when you do, you will have great fortune. Journey within. I hear journey within. And yeah, and look at your landscape, because I'm hearing that in a lot of cases this person that was sort of your energetic nemesis is there, and the person that they negatively impacted, like, is there several around people that are there too. So you'll, I hear, if you know, you'll know. Scholar. And I'm hearing that you're currently sort of like, you're kind of figuring out a lot of things about the esoteric, which is good, but you're soon going to integrate those energies. You can study it, but you need to energize those concepts. And I'm hearing that it's good to read about it. Like, you may be reading about witchcraft and manifestation, or some sort of energies like that. But I'm hearing that it's the going to your inner self. Like, the logical mind is good, but there's a part that's much faster, which is, and I'll do a video about it, like finding the energy in your heart, and I will be a future pick a card reading about this subject, is the fastest way to inner knowing. And um, you will you will know that you've gotten there when you feel every cell of your body is whole and put together in the way that it should be, is what I'm hearing. But build on solid ground, and then you will be able to build on solid ground. And I'm hearing too, oh, interesting, choose friends wisely. So it may be this, yeah, I'm getting that you have a friend that you're suspicious of, and that it may be in some sort of spiritual group. And I'm hearing most cases in this life, they're not necessarily bad, but it's kind of making you think. But now I'm hearing in some cases they may be, but most of the cases they're just, it's a past life remnant. You've come back together. In most cases, they're not bad, although they could be. That's what I'm hearing. But it's like the imprint of the past life is definitely there. So look out for that. And when you build on solid ground, you have the abilities of, okay, what are the abilities that you will bring back when you feel whole again, when you feel that you've kind of released energy of the past life. So I'm brought again to the Queen of Cups. So I'm in a sense of peaceful inner knowing what is to come. Okay, I'm getting knowing what is to come, and but meld bold building it to, or melding it to your will, knowing what is to come and changing the future. Interesting. So that's one of your powers, is like changing the future, um, drawing into what you truly need. That's another one of your power. Um, Psychically, and also getting another one of your powers that you will get is that you will be able to get into people's heads, and sometimes it's gonna sound, not meaning to sound too out there, but almost changing the consciousness of people, getting into mass consciousness and changing it into a different direction by infusing your mind into mass consciousness. Interesting. So you will be able to do that. You'll be able to do that. And you're already doing that now, but I think you'll be more conscious. And it's just like a natural process as you begin to release this past life, and sort of ground into the now. And I hear just, yeah, when you ground into the now, you'll know that when you're getting there, you've got there, or you're on the right track, because you will have a sense of inner power, and sort of a sense of, you'll have I'm hearing that you'll have a different feeling state, because the Queen of Cups is all about feeling and intuition and connecting to that aspect of things. So I'm hearing that you'll know that you've got there when you feel different. When you feel different, or you can feel the shifting tides of your emotions going to a different direction, you will know that you were getting there. But yeah, I'm getting some interesting abilities, like changing mass consciousness by sort of getting into people's heads, or getting into that, that collective, what do you call it? I can't remember the name, but yeah, mass consciousness. What is it called? I can't remember, but it's getting into that. And as you change that, you can change the consciousness that's connected to people's brains. Interesting. Which will change mass consciousness and will change the future. So that's very fascinating. But yeah, I'm again brought to choose friends wisely. I'm hearing choose friends wisely, but don't. I'm hearing you have more confidence in who you bring into your life as you step into these power. There'll be less of a sense of paranoia about people, if you will, like knowing who's good and who isn't, because you'll you'll know within who you are. And then I'm hearing that you'll really shift in terms of having that sense of sort of insecurity with people, if you will. You'll you'll know, your psychic power will tell you, and it's just, so just do that energetic work on yourself. You do, like, knowing that consciousness is very, very real. And also I'm hearing that you'll be able to talk to people that are gone, and also talk to people who are gone, and also journey to far off. You may even begin to, and it's going to sound really crazy, but you may, if you develop yourself, you may be able to journey with your, like, teleportation, because people do actually teleport, and they used to do it more often in less controlled times. But you may eventually be able to teleport. But I hear that's maybe not now, but as you progress, I heard 15 years, like that, because that's quite a feat to do. But there may be a point when you're actually able to teleport. I heard 15 years, but it could be different for everybody. But that's actually something that you might be able to. But I'm hearing you may be doing now rudimentary teleportation, like bringing your light body to different areas, right? And that's something. But there'll be a point when you'll be actually bring your physical body. But I'm hearing you kind of want to allow that to happen naturally, as it progresses, as we progress in time, because it's quite the feat, and you want to make sure that you end up in one piece, if you will, right? Because that's quite the feat. But believe you me, it has been done. People have done that before, so it's something that you may want to perhaps access eventually. But yeah, that's all we've got for pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed that. Check out my other videos on narcissists, karma, past lives, soulmates, and a whole bunch of other different subjects. So check that out. See if you want to subscribe. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope that you have a good day. Bye bye.